Hey everybody, the purpose of this video, if, if your cuckoo clock or clock in general, if the cuckoo or the chimes on a regular clock is playing too fast, more than likely it's because the governor band is loose. And the purpose behind this video is to show you how to tighten a governor band up. The most important thing is you have to take the power off of the clock. With a weight-driven clock, it's no big deal. It's easy to take the power off. But with a spring-driven clock, if you do not take the power off and you go to do what I'm fixing to show you what you need to do, you're going to break something. You could damage yourself, but you will break something internally in the movement. So you must take the power off. One thing that you can look at to determine whether or not your governor band needs to be tightened up, and I have videos on cuckoo clocks as far as how do you know whether the governor band needs to be tightened up, so you can search for those. But when let's say you have a Westminster chime clock, when the very last hammer strikes the gong to quit the chimes, within a half to maybe 3/4 to one turn, the governor band should quit spinning. If it continues to spin after the very last hammer strikes 2, 3, 4, 5 rotations, it needs tightened up. Believe it or not, your Westminster chimes are playing too fast, and that's because the governor band is designed to control the speed of the chimes, the strike, the cuckoo, etc. Without it, and I have a video on a cuckoo clock, it will cuckoo so fast that it doesn't sound like a cuckoo. It sounds more like a quail. So kick back, relax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink, and let's learn things. Here I have a cuckoo clock movement. It's the easiest movement to show you what to do. But again, you must take the power off. If you don't know how to take the power off on a movement, I have videos out there. If you're a subscriber to my YouTube channel, all you have to do is search. If you don't know how to search, I have a video out there that tells you the benefits of subscribing to somebody's YouTube channel. You know, YouTube doesn't pay hardly anything anymore. I haven't made a dime off of YouTube. I don't do this for the money. I do this to help people out. Cuckoo clock movement. Here's the governor band on this movement. I'm going to make it strike. These are parts movements that I show people. Now pay attention to the governor band when it gets done cuckooing. If I can, I might have to grab another movement. You see how immediately it stopped? That is what you want. Now stand by, and I'm going to mess it up and I'm going to show you what is wrong with it when it's not tight enough. I decided to show you on camera. There's this tab right here in this cutout of this fan blade. That's how you tighten and loosen this fan. I'm going to push it away from the bar, and now there's a gap in that fan, and when I activate the Cuckoo, now it slides up and down this bar because it's too loose. When I activate the Cuckoo, you're going to see it continue to spin. You see that? The Cuckoo was done and it continued to spin. One more time. See? I'm going to do it again so you can see the rack and snail, and watch the governor fan. As soon as this gets underneath the rack, you'll see the governor fan continue to spin. And that's because it is too loose. And in this case, the Cuckoo will cuckoo extremely fast. Now, to tighten it up, preferably you take the movement out of the clock, you take the weight, the power off, and the governor fan is the easiest gear to get out. You take the nut off, and then you're going to spread the plate apart just enough to get this governor fan out. Now, when you spread this plate apart, you might get the third wheel warning pin. It might come out on you also. So you'll have to put that back in, which it came out. So we got the governor fan, and again, it's too loose. And they make these things differently, okay? And so the easiest way is to take the shaft off the fan. And then you see how that is sticking up. You want to push it down. And like I said, your fan might be a little bit differently. So now I got to push down. So now, and some of them have a notch out on the shaft, and that's where that center blade of this fan goes. Not all of them have a notch on the shaft, and so you just push it back on until it catches in that notch. Okay, so now it's on there, it's tight. If it is too tight, your chimes will go slow. So you have to figure the medium of where it goes. And here I can turn this thing with my finger, and so I think that is not too tight. If you can't turn it with your finger, and see if I could flick this. As long as you could flick it, it's not too tight. If you flick it and it continues to spin, it's too loose. So the only thing you do now is put it back into the movement. along with the third wheel with warning pin, and you put it back on. Like I said, Cuckoo Clock, and I'm going to have to do this off camera because I can't see with everything in front of me. Cuckoo Clock movements, depending on how much space is in the case itself, I have taken the nut off and the governor fan out without taking the movement out of the clock. Other clocks, because they're spring driven, you have to take the movement out of the case. You have to release the power off the movement before you attempt to take this out. Because if you spread these plates apart without taking the power off, all that power is going to go somewhere. It's going to go in your fingers, it's going to go in your hands, it's going to go in the movement itself. You're going to break something. So you have, and I'm going to repeat that, you have to take the power off before you fix this. Depending on the type, if your governor fan is built like this, you can tighten it up without taking it out of the movement. You can push down on this tab here to tighten it up. You can't always do that. The best way to fix it is to do what I just did. Take it out of the clock, take the fan blade off the shaft, tighten it up, and then put it back on. Some of them do not have this center blade here. Some of them are only tightened by the two holes, I guess you could call it, in the blade itself. In order to tighten those up, you have to squeeze those two holes. It depends on how your fan is designed, depend on how you tighten the blade up. I hope this helps, and may God bless each and every one of you.